I thought it was so fascinating that something that I thought would be an intriguing question was a question that brought up looks of, what are you talking about? So by asking this question, it's the stepping stone. It's that first piece that takes us so much further in our lives. In today's video, I would love to talk to you about this amazing question that I asked some women. You see, this week I was speaking to a women's networking group. It was an amazing group of women. There were about 25 or 30 of them, and they were bankers and realtors and entrepreneurs, just this amazing group. There was so much positive energy in this room, and it was lovely to be there. And they asked me to speak, and I was speaking about mindfulness for the mind, body, and spirit, which I was more than thrilled to do. It was so much fun. But there was one question that I asked towards the end of this presentation where I had some of the women, and I've spoken enough to be able to tap into what people are thinking. And when I asked this particular question, I had some looks like, what are you talking about? And I'll ask you the same question because I would love to get your input. I thought it was so fascinating that something that I thought would be an intriguing question was a question that brought up looks of, what are you talking about? And so you'll see what I mean in a minute. So this talk was called Mindfulness for the Mind, Body, and Spirit. Well, the mind, that was pretty easy. I gave them a simple reminder to be aware of those I ams that we say, because I am, those are the two most powerful words in the English language. And what we follow our I ams with are very important, especially with the way that we talk to ourselves throughout the day, whether we're businesswomen or not. It's very important to have those positive I ams. So I gave them that reminder, and they wrote out some of those positive I ams. And then for the body, we did a body scan, which was, again, something that we can do every day. It's very simple, but being intentional about really thinking about how are you feeling? And by a body scan, I just mean head to toe, feeling into every part of your body. Is a part of your body that's tight or uncomfortable or feeling disconnected in some way or heavy, whatever way it shows up for you, and just allowing yourself to breathe through that. So I did that kind of a real quick guided meditation for them and reminding them that whether you're writing positive I ams or whether you are doing a body scan every day, I do it every morning. These are things that we can do every day. They're free, they don't cost a penny. We can do them to be more intentional, to be more mindful and present, because that's what mindfulness is. It's about being present in the moment without being reactionary or without becoming overwhelmed. And then we got to my favorite part. My favorite part, of course, is spirit. And so I asked them, with the spirit, whether you call it God, spirit, universe, doesn't matter. There's one spirit, there's one power. And I let them know that we all are a spirit, we all are a soul. And I wanted to get agreement on that because sometimes we know that we're a physical body, but oftentimes people don't think about their soul or their spiritual side, that part of us that makes us go, right? And so I got agreement on that. Yes, we're a physical body, but we have a soul. Yay. So got agreement. And then I asked them, who do you talk to all day? Now, this isn't quite the one question. I asked lots of questions, but when you're having conversations with yourself all day long, whether it's about business or not, that part of you that is just that inner dialogue, that inner critic, that little voice in your head that's trying to solve all of your problems. It's telling you, don't forget, you need to go do this. Don't forget, you have this appointment, or don't forget to get the laundry out. That little voice in your head that is, it's It's guiding you, it's helping you in certain situations, and it definitely has a purpose to solve problems. So everyone in the group could identify it with that voice in their head, right? Can you? We all have this thinking mind, I call it this thinking mind. And everyone could agree. And so this part of our mind that we're speaking to so often during the day is really our ego. It's our thinking mind. And so I asked them to take a moment and disassociate from the thinking mind. So I asked them to imagine, like, if you could take your thinking mind, the chattering mind, and just let it slip over to the door for a moment. Just let it kind of slide over there, pretend like there's a big box, and put that thinking, chattering mind in the box. And then I asked them, what about the voice of your soul? What does that voice sound like? Like your intuition, your guidance. And that's where I started to get these looks like, I don't know if I've ever heard that voice. And it made me think, going back pre-spiritual journey for me, if I ever heard that quiet voice. I'm sure I had moments where my intuition pushed forward and made me pay attention, but I don't think that I was consciously aware of paying attention to my inner voice, my inner guidance from my soul. And so it really made me think, and these women, it gave them that aha moment. Like, oh, this is something that I can do. And so I had them drop down into their heart center, which was beautiful. And then listen, now that the chattering mind is over in that box by the door, to listen for their guidance, to listen for that inner voice of their soul. And even if they've never heard it before, what does it sound like? And from my experience, it's much calmer than that thinking, chattering mind. It's much wiser. It's intuitive. It's there to provide guidance. And it knows everything. So it knows the questions that we have. And so I gave them a moment to think about that. And then here's the question where I got puzzled looks. And I love that because if I'm getting a puzzled look from an audience, it means that they're thinking. It means that they're reflecting on something. Like maybe there's something more that I can learn about myself. And I love that. That's what I want for people. I want for people to go, what more can I learn about myself? What more is inside of me that's exciting and wonderful and powerful? And so the question was this: in your day to day, can you differentiate between the thinking voice in your head and the intuitive voice in your heart? And for me, I thought it was a pretty simple question. But again, the looks told me that they had never thought about that. So my question is the same for you. Are you able to differentiate? Because I want to take this question further. I want to take it to the masses. Like I said, I want people to reflect and ask themselves, what what is there for me? What is more inside of me? And even if you're not even asking what's my soul's purpose, at least start with, what's the little voice? Can I differentiate between my thinking mind and what my soul has for me? Because when we realize that our soul has messages, that we can listen to our intuition, we can be guided by our intuition, we have access to all the wisdom that our soul has, which is infinite, by the way, we have access to that. So by asking this question, it's the stepping stone. It's that first piece that takes us so much further in our lives. So can you differentiate the thinking voice and the sound of your intuition? And if you have, awesome. Please put down in the comments below, what does your intuitive voice sound like? Do you notice that it's calmer than the thinking voice? Let's have this discussion. What do you think? If you haven't, if you haven't been able to distinguish between the two yet, just remember it's yet. You can, it takes practice. But know that it is softer, it is more gentle than our thinking. Egotistical mind, which is just trying to solve problems. Our intuition isn't necessarily trying to solve the problem. It's gently nudging us. It's giving us that gentle nudge. It's providing guidance. It's saying, oh, have you thought about going this way? That's it. For me, oftentimes I get those gentle nudges when I'm least expecting it. It's those times in the shower or where you're out on a walk and you're not trying to solve a problem. You're simply being. And that's oftentimes when those gentle voices flow to us or we're able to tap into them. I believe that that voice is always here in our heart center, but how often are we willing to tap in? So if you haven't been able to differentiate between the voices, like I said, no, don't worry. Don't worry. But let's practice right now. So let's do that exercise that I guided these women to, and that is for a moment. You know that chattering voice that's trying to solve every problem, that's trying to remind you of all the things that you have to do. And let's put that mind over in the corner or by the door in a box or suitcase or something. It'll be there when you're done. And take a couple of deep breaths, allowing your exhale to be longer than your inhale, allowing your body to fully relax. And then consciously go from the mind and allow yourself to drop into your heart center, where you're feeling love. There's no judgment, there's no criticism, there's no resentment. Not here, not in your heart center. There's only love. Love for yourself, love for others. And in this space is where our soul can give us that nudge, where we allow ourselves to tap in to the intuition, to the wisdom of our soul, to the part of us that is so much more than physical, and allowing yourself to simply be. And ask yourself, is here in my heart center, is there a message for me at this time? And practice listening, even if it's for a minute or two. Allow yourself this time to practice, to see. If there is, great. If there isn't, that's okay too. It's called practice. If you've never done this before, give yourself some grace. And when you're ready, open your eyes. That's it. It's a quick exercise. You might try to do this dropping down into your heart center every morning when you wake up, or in the evening when you go to bed. Or maybe when you're driving, you can just kind of be in that state. When we're driving, we're kind of in a trance state anyway, where you can just be, okay, I'm just driving. I know where I'm going. I don't really have to think about anything. Does my soul have any guidance for me right now? And if you have a issue, if you have a question, if you have a problem that you are trying to solve, remember that that job is up to the ego. But just see if there's a personal message for you from your soul. Is there direction? Is there guidance? And only you will be able to determine when you are able to differentiate between the two voices that are in your head. I know that sounds weird, but it's true. We have our thinking mind and we have our intuitive voice from our soul, which is really, it's who we are. It's our spirit. It's our soul. We are a soul. But it's remembering. Maybe you haven't been to that place yet where you remember that you are a soul, and that's okay too. Take a tiny step forward in remembering today. And as always, my wish is to inspire you to live a life that you love. And we can live a life that we love when we truly know who we are. That we're not just a physical body. We are a spiritual being having a temporary physical experience. And I believe that this physical experience should be amazing, that we should be doing things that we absolutely love. We should be surfing, we should be hiking, we should be walking, whatever it is that you love to do, skiing, whatever it is. Whatever that you want to be doing, wherever you want to show up in the world, whatever it is that you want to be doing for your vocation, whatever relationship that you want to be in, whatever education you have, whatever it is, I want that for you. But I believe that it begins by understanding who we are. It begins by understanding how powerful we are. And it's not about manifesting the things. The things are nice, don't get me wrong. The home, the car, the things are nice. The toys are nice. I love toys too. But it's not about those things. It's about being able to love ourselves unconditionally. And then we're able to manifest all these beautiful things. Well, how do we love ourselves unconditionally? By knowing who we truly are, by knowing that we're more than a physical body. So if this is a new message for you and you found this, you found my voice, you found this video, I'm so excited because that truly is my mission in the world. And it's why I make these videos. I don't make them for myself. I make them for the one person that needs to hear this message. And that's it. I send out my energy out into the ether, and that's my dream. That's my mission. Is that one person will hear. One person will understand today that they are more than this physical body, that they are a powerful creator, and it's all within them, and that they can tap into this beautiful power and wisdom at any time. If you would like to know more about going on this journey, this spiritual journey of understanding more about who you truly are, then please schedule a call with me. I would love to talk to you. And you can schedule. The link for my Bliss Blueprint conversations are below. And I have tons more videos. I would love for you to check them out. Check out some of my guided meditations. And please let me know in the comments below if you've been able to differentiate between your talking voice, the voice in your head that's trying to solve all of your problems, even though sometimes you might not want it to be doing so, and the intuitive voice of your soul. All right, take care. Bye-bye.